I never got over paying my first death claim. Delivered that check told Willa for $100,000. And she and those 3 kids would have had to live on $5,000 if A.O. Williams had not showed up. I never got over the first time I made $100,000. And then seeing one of my teammates, Bob Buson, make $100,000. I never got over my first trip to Hawaii. I never got over my first trip to Europe. I never got over what a rip-off taxpayer life insurance is. You lose cash pay if you die. Who in the living goes out for 380 products like that? I never got over what they did in my life. I wanted to hurt. I wanted to punch. I never got over being Primerica, but coming number 1. I never got over the fact that just keep my butt out of the water. You know, go to the bank today and put $1,000 in there, 5% interest for 70 years. That's worth $30,000. But if you go to bank B and put $1,000 in there and get twice as much interest, 10% interest for 70 years, everything inside of me, all of my common sense said it's twice as much interest. That's $30,000 at 5%. At 10%, it's got to be $60,000. But at 10% is $780,000. Folks, don't ever forget the things that blow your butt out of the water. And let me tell you what the life lesson I learned in the third grade is to always tell your personal story. That's right. That's where they see your heart. Don't ever make a presentation. Don't ever put an opportunity or a fast start school. Anybody you talk to, always tell your personal story. See, A.O. Williams stood for something. A.O. Williams stood for something. Till you get up under the ball. See, you must believe it before you see it. See, A.O. Williams was born. Those 85 people were born with a bold vision. Number 1, we really believe that A.O. Williams was a big man. We were founded here in Atlanta, Georgia. But we really believe that this is the beginning of a great event. We really believe that A.O. Williams was going to change the largest industry in the world. See, you got to believe it before you see it. See, most people, they have to see it before they believe it. When A.O. Williams said we're going to change the life insurance industry, we're going to destroy cash value, we're going to beat Prudential and become number 1, almost everybody said, that's crazy. That's crazy. So they spent the rest of their lives being average. The second part of our deal is we believed our RVPs were going to build their own company within a company. We believed our RVPs were going to build financial independence. Folks, do you have any idea how special that is? Financial independence, where nobody can put their thumb on you, where nobody can squeeze you, where you can count. Building a big company, become financial independent. That's crazy. But see, you got to believe before it becomes a reality. See, you got to believe that you can be an RVP. You got to really believe it before you can be an RVP. You got to really believe that you're worth $100,000 before you earn $100,000. You got to really believe that you're going to live to see the day where you're financially independent and you change the direction of your family for generations. You got to believe it. When someone back in the 70s and 80s said, A.O. Williams, man, that got you. A.O. Williams, good for something. When somebody said A.O. Williams, all those 250,000 agents out there, all those 2,000 companies, they immediately felt fear. They immediately felt intimidation. You see, they knew if they went out and screwed somebody with a cash value policy, then we were out there. sometime A.L. Williams was going to get there, and it was going to be ugly. We wanted to destroy the competition. The harder they fought, the nastier they were, the better we liked. We didn't like what we did, we loved it. We didn't like the fight, we loved it. We didn't like the controversy, we thrived on it. A.L. Williams believed when we opened our doors that the key to building a successful business is building trusting relationships. You know what? Nobody has ever accomplished anything on their own. You know what, folks? If you've ever been successful at anything, somewhere in your life, somebody trusted you. Somebody believed in you. I had many people that trusted me and believed in me in my life. But the most important one was Coach Taylor. Coach Taylor was a giant in my life. He was my hero. I started working for Coach Taylor in the recreation department in the 5th grade, working with him through college, played for him in the 5th grade through the 12th grade. In every way you could measure a boy, I was just pretty average and ordinary on the outside. But Coach Taylor saw something in me. Coach Taylor made me feel special. He made me feel like I was going to do something important with my life one day. Folks, building trusting relationship is not almost everything. It's everything there is. What's everything there is? What's everything there is? How do you get people to commit to you? How do you get people to be loyal to you? How do you get people to give 100% to you? To believe in you? Let me give you another unwritten law. You got to be there. You got to be there for them. You got to be loyal to them. You got to believe in them. And you got to prove it. You know, I think of Bob Miller, who was a basketball coach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When Waddell Reed and I recruited Bob part-time into Waddell Reed. And I called Bob on the phone one day and said, Bob, I'm coming to Fort Lauderdale next week, and I want to get together and have lunch with you and James. And we chatted, and he said, Art, he said, you know, I sold a coach friend of mine, I replaced the cash pay policy in the corner last week, and the old lady came back and, you know, told me they ought to keep the cash value and they were run out of money in states and all this kind of crap, you know. And he said he finally gave up on the savings cash value policy. Well, if you want a turn, you should have told me I could give you a turn. And I can give it to you 3 pennies cheaper than A.L. Williams can give it to you. I said, Bob, call that coach. You call that coach and you set up a phone and I want to see him. That's not right what he did, Bob. And Bob said, Art, please don't do that. You know, he said he's a friend of mine and he's got term insurance now. I'm happy with that. And that's okay. Please let it drop. I said, no way, Bob. You call that guy. You set up a phone. That's not right what he did. Bob called and ran the phone with him. We went to see him. And I said, Coach, that whole life I screwed you and your family. If you had died, your wife and those kids would have had to suffer like my mom and my 2 brothers had to suffer. Bob Miller educated you on the right way to protect your family. He sold you a great term product at a great price. And you're letting that asshole come in here. And you don't let me tell you term insurance because it's 3 cents cheaper. That ain't right. That ain't right, Coach. You ain't a good guy, Coach, to do something like that. He took our alien return policy. And he also joined us too. There you go. For the next 20 years, 2 things happened that night to me and Bob Miller. Bob Miller believed in Art Williams a little bit more. A few years later, when we were just going by leaps and bounds, and I needed somebody to help me in the home office, I called Bob on the phone, and I said, Bob, I need you to come and join me in the home office. But I got a problem, Bob. I don't have any money to pay you. I said, Bob, all I can tell you, if you will come up here, you know, I don't have anything to pay you right now, but if we make it, we probably aren't. I want you to know that I expect you to be among the highest paid people in AOE. In 3 weeks, Bob Miller had sold his house in Fort Lauderdale and moved to Atlanta and bought another house, and Monday morning showed up at AOE. Let me give you When Coach Taylor retired from coaching, I opened an office for him in Tallahassee, Florida. He didn't know anything about the business. He knew a lot about people. And so I moved Trudy White up to be his administrative assistant in Tallahassee, Florida. When I announced that we were leaving Waddell & Reed and starting A.O. Williams, man, World War III broke open. And one Friday night, I heard knocking at the door in Snellville, Georgia. And it was Trudy White. And I said, Trudy, what are you doing here? And she said, I'm coming. I said, you coming where? She said, I'm coming. I said, ain't no way in crap you're coming. You've been in Waddell & Reed for almost 35 years. You've only got 5 or 10 years to go to retirement. You can't put that kind of pressure on me, Trudy. We probably ain't even going to make it. And she said, I'm coming. I said, ain't no way in crap you're coming. She said, I'm coming. I had to listen to that crap for 2.5 days, and Sunday afternoon, she came. Now, folks, can you believe that? Now, you can understand. You can understand what this offering and some of these other people that had a chance to build their own company and build financial independence, but what all she was going to be is an employee, was a secretary, but she wanted to be part of something great. She wanted to do something special with her life. And she retired a few years later. She loved to travel more than anybody I think I've ever known. I gave her a lifetime airline ticket where she could go anywhere in the world. It takes time to build a relationship. It takes time to make your people your friends. Folks, the whole recruiting process, listen to me folks, the whole recruiting process at A.O. Williams is a minimum of 8 to 10 hours. All you people that are recruiting 50 and 25 and 100 and 200 people a month, you've got to have, you are the management team in place to give these people 8 to 10 hours or 20 hours or you're screwing. Just think about this. The first interview is an hour. The second interview is an hour. An opportunity means an hour and a half. The third interview is an hour. 4 true field training sales is 4 hours. You have a cookout at your house is 2 hours. Training session is 2 hours. Licensing training is 2 hours. Helping them move from an apartment to their home is 4 hours. That's 18 hours right there. How do you get people to trust you? There are 5 rules. Number 1, you must always look for the good things in your people. Number 2, you can't let the losers and the negative people and the dishonest people and unethical people make you lose faith in people. Number 3, you must show your people that you really care about them and their family and their dreams. Really care. Number 4, you must love them and believe in them through good times and bad times. When Angela and I had our 2 babies, Mark and April, when they were growing up through those difficult teenage years, we sit them down And we'd tell our neighbor, we said, listen, y'all, I know you're going to screw up. I hope you're careful. I know you're going to make mistakes. But I want you to know a couple things. Number one, I doubt you'll ever make as many mistakes as your mom and daddy made. And number two, I want you to know, there ain't nothing you will ever do in your life. It is impossible. You can't make a mistake. I don't care what it is. It will cause us to love you later. And we do right now. I want you to know. I want you to know. There is nothing you can ever do that you can't come home. You can't come home. And your mom and daddy is going to be there to love you and fight for you. Number 5, you must believe that you're working to make them successful. Your people must believe that you're working to make them successful. Never that they think they're working for you to make more money, to win you a contest, to earn you a promotion. You see, let me give you an answer to whether you're building great trusting relationships with your people. Take your licensing percent. See, AOE's had a goal